The sound that Officer Johnson was hearing was tongs clashing. The Meteor Buffet diners were eagerly awaiting the next tray of crab legs coming out of the kitchen. Right now, the problem with limited broadband is that when you have thousands of people in a small area pull out their phones, that pulls a massive amount of data. Huntsville city leaders hope that once Unity Fiber sets up the new small cells, people will enjoy faster speeds, and they hope other exciting future prospects. Marina owner Steve Connors says the storm did a number on the marina in more ways than one. For one thing, he says it messed up their payment system for their gas pumps. He says they got that fixed up before Memorial Day, and for now, that's a win. It used to be a driveway, now it's a sidewalk. Huntsville city leaders tell me part of the goal with this intersection project along Clinton and Governors was to make the street simpler and safer to cross.
19's Joel Porter on the scene. And Joel, what have you been able to find out so far?
Jerry and Siobhan, deputies tell me the girl appears to have been killed in a rollover. Limestone County Sheriff's deputies tell me they were called out here this afternoon around 3:30. The accident happened when the girl was riding in an ATV in a remote area behind the home, which is along Blackburn Road, that's just north of US 72, a few miles west of Athens. Deputies say the girl was around 14 years old, but so far we don't know her name.
Unfortunately, we see these things happen, and we'd like to never see them happen. But I mean, it affects family, it affects friends, it affects coworkers, it affects classmates, and I just hope that that this family can heal and the community can come together and support them.
Deputies are now still on site at the home and looking into exactly how this happened. They tell me this is especially difficult news for the girl's family and friends, especially since Limestone County school kids start class on Monday. Reporting live near Athens, Joel Porter, WHNT News 19.
WHNT News 19's Joel Porter is taking action, and we went to the plant in Tanner today. Joel, what did Redline managers tell you?
Clarissa, since we began covering this story in December, we have reached out to Redline Steel several times in hopes of hearing what they've been doing to address those complaints. This week, management agreed to their first on-camera interview with WHNT News 19 on the subject. After agreeing to reschedule from Thursday to Friday, I showed up at the plant today, was told the owner was sick, nobody from the company would go on camera, nor was I allowed to see anything from the factory floor. And some customers have been waiting since Thanksgiving.
He's an avid hunter, so I just thought it would be something great, as a Christmas item for him.
It's been a frustrating few months for Cherie Carlson. Like several other people, her custom metal monogram from Redline Steel didn't make it by Christmas.
And so I posted something, and they kept deleting it, and so then I messaged the guy, and the next thing you know, I was booted off the page and actually blocked off the page.
Not exactly the treatment she was expecting. Still, the company has spent the last few weeks rushing to box up and ship out the overdue orders, which meant Carlson finally got a straight answer.
Pretty much really yesterday, when I finally got my shipping confirmation.
Redline Steel management declined to appear on camera or allow me to see anything on the factory floor on Friday. They told me they're now on the last 5% of the overdue orders, and they say they plan to have the rest of the overdue Christmas orders shipped out by Saturday.
Due to the high call volume, we are currently not accepting calls.
For weeks, this was the automated response for frustrated callers. By Friday, however, a more personal touch.
Thank you for calling Redline. How may I help you?
Hello there.
Hello.
They're still not reaccredited, but Redline Steel's Better Business Bureau rating rose from a D- to a B-. The company has now merged its different products under the name Redline Decor.
Companies have tried to rename themselves, restructure to get away from the bad reputation that they've developed under another business name. That's happened here locally many times.
Redline management say they hope to get their rating back to an A by next month. Garcia says to do it, they'll have to satisfy complaints from customers like Carlson.
And I verified today, and it actually will be here tomorrow.
Redline management says they've hired 5 customer service employees to answer phone calls. They wouldn't give me an exact number as to how many orders they have yet to ship out. In the newsroom, Joel Porter, WHNT News 19.
News 19's Joel Porter went to Virginia College in Huntsville today. So, Joel, we knew the school was closing next spring. Why the rush?
Well, Greg and Clarissa, Virginia College is one of 5 schools run by the Education Corporation of America. That group is overseen by the Accrediting Council for Independent Colleges and Schools, or ACICS. I apologize for the jargon. Yesterday, the ACICS told the ECA they're withdrawing the grants of accreditation for all institutions owned by Virginia College. And for students in Huntsville, it means they have less than 2 weeks to finish all of their hours. Some of them tell me that's impossible. An emotional afternoon for students in Huntsville as they got some shocking news less than 3 weeks before Christmas.
About finished, and we're being told that we may not be able to graduate.
Near the end of the business day, a handful of aspiring medical workers at Virginia College were making frantic phone calls for information.
My finish date would have been the first part of January.
We're just doing the best we can with what information that we have.
The trade school announced earlier this year it wasn't taking any new students, but school leaders found out this week they'd lost their accreditation, which means by this time next month, the school won't exist.
I've got a job, it's just what I've missed. I mean, you know, I've put in the hours, I've put in the effort, and now there's not going to be an end result.
I talked with one Virginia College student as she was hurrying inside, who tells me fortunately she will be able to finish on time. But for many others, they say they're not so lucky. They were told this week if they don't finish all of their assignments and credit hours by December 18th, that's it.
There's not enough hours in the day for the office that I work for to be open for me to get those hours.
2 weeks is not a lot of time.
No, it's really not.
How much do you have left to finish?
A little less than 100 hours, but of externship. So I'm already done with my classes, but we'll see.
You think you can get it done?
Hopefully, we'll try and.
There are 27 Virginia College campuses in the U.S., 4 in Alabama, with an estimated 15,000 students enrolled. What is unknown is how many of them are being left out in the cold by the latest news. The ACICS is requiring the ECA to report to the executive committee with how many students have graduated and what they're doing to transfer the students to other schools so they can finish those studies. That report is due December 19th. In the newsroom, Joel Porter, WHNT News 19.